today we're taking you on another community tour. It's one of our favorites and where we live.
Hi there, we are Denise and Marc, a husband and wife real estate team right here in Greater Moncton. And today we are bringing you along on a tour of Moncton's older communities, the West End. It's where we live and we love it.
The West End, as you probably guessed, is on the west side of Moncton. What we consider the West End is everything west of Vaughan Harvey Boulevard between the Petitcodiac River and the North End. But today we're going to look at a few neighborhoods at the core of the larger area and focus on the neighborhoods of Centennial Place, Fernwood, the New West End, and the Old West End. Those neighborhoods are located off of St. George Boulevard, one of the main roads in Moncton. The area is full of young families as well as the older generation who have been in their homes for a long time. The bulk of housing is detached and semi-detached homes, but there are also multifamily properties and apartment buildings as well. Just like houses, there is also a wide range of prices. The median price in the last year was $335,000, meaning half of the homes sold were sold below $335,000 and half were sold above $335,000.
What you'll find here in the West End is that even though it's technically on the west side of Moncton, it feels very central. You can jump on Highway 15 and be at the opposite end of Moncton in 10 minutes. You're just a 5-minute drive across the river to Riverview, or just head east on St. George and you're downtown in less than 10 minutes. It has a different feel than other communities as well that we've toured. It's hard to pinpoint exactly what it is, but there just seems to be something about being in an older part of the city.
The first area we're hitting is Fernwood. It's a small neighborhood on the south side of St. George where you'll find the youngest homes in today's tour. Most of the homes here date from the 80s, 90s, and even into the 2000s. Many of them could be considered higher end with an average sale price in the last year of $570,000. And other than a small high-end condo community, this neighborhood is made up of detached homes only. There are no semis or apartments in this area, although there is a large assisted living building on St. George Boulevard adjacent to the neighborhood.
Here we are directly across the street from Fernwood in Centennial Place. In some ways, this neighborhood is similar to Fernwood in that it's a little younger, with the majority of the homes having been built in the 70s and on.
A few really cool things about Centennial is that I don't think there are two homes alike here. Each one seems to have character and its unique charm. The other is that it borders on Centennial Park, and we'll talk a little more about the park later in the video. Another similarity is that here in this neighborhood, just like Fernwood, you'll only find detached homes. There's a wide range here from more modest homes to high-end. The average price in this neighborhood in the last year was just a little over $418,000, with the lowest coming in at $355,000 and the most expensive coming in at $560,000.
We've jumped back over to the other side of St. George Street, and we're now in what's known as the New West End. In this area, you'll find more modest homes, many of them bungalows built in the 50s and 60s. Also some two-story homes, some semi-detached, and a few apartment buildings, including a new complex being built now. The average price in this area in the last year was a little over $346,000. The lowest sales price was a 1,000 square foot fixer-upper that sold for $95,000, and the most expensive was a beautifully renovated 3,000 square foot home overlooking Jones Lake that sold for $840,000. This neighborhood is ideal for young families and overall can be very budget friendly.
There are 2 schools in the immediate area. Besborough School, where our youngest attends, for Anglophone students with French immersion from K to 8, and École Sainte-Bernadette for Francophone students from K to 5.
And finally, on the other side of Jones Lake, closest to the city center, here we are in the Old West End. This is where you'll find the oldest homes, some well over 100 years old. You'll also find more duplexes here, as well as apartment buildings. Here again, we have an area with plenty of families, but also an older generation who have been in their homes for a long time.
So those are the residential areas we wanted to show you. Now let's talk about amenities. Up first, as promised, is Centennial Park. It's a 232-acre park right in the middle of the West End that offers year-round activities that can be enjoyed by visitors of all ages. It features a mix of forest and open recreational areas and a large trail system. In winter, you can enjoy skating on a really neat new skating trail they built a few years ago. You can enjoy snowshoeing, sledding, and cross-country skiing. If you don't own your own equipment, you can rent snowshoes or cross-country skis for a reasonable price. In the summer, it's an ideal spot for families. There is an accessible splash park, a large picnic area, and a big playground for the kids in the main area of the park behind us. If you're a dog person, there are 2 parks, one for small dogs and one for big dogs.
If you want to cool off on a hot day, the all-new Centennial Park pool opened in 2020. But a word of warning, I hear that it gets pretty busy on those days. You'll often find annual festivals being held in the park as well, such as the annual Atlantic Nationals Car Show, Shakespeare in the Park, and there's all kinds of free outdoor concerts.
Denise convinced me to come to Shakespeare in the Park last year. I was a little reluctant to agree, but I did, and I ended up actually really enjoying it.
The park is also home to what we'd say is the nicest football field in Moncton, Rocky Stone Field, the Moncton Lawn Bowling Club, the Moncton Tennis Club, and also Trigo, where you make your way through the treetops by cables and footbridges. Camp Centennial is also just right next door, and they hold youth camps all summer long. If you want to enjoy trail walking but aren't looking to venture into the park, the walking trail around Jones Lake might just be for you. It's a loop around the lake. It's around 3 kilometers and mostly flat, which makes it accessible to all.
Another amenity in the immediate area that's worth mentioning is the Wesleyan Church, because it's not just a church. There's a large auditorium inside with a great sound system that hosts many shows throughout the year. It's also home to the Moncton Christian Academy, a private K-12 school. If we look just outside the area we're in today, you can easily get to other popular amenities. A 6 or 7 minute drive away towards downtown will bring you to the Avenir Centre, where most of the major events like concerts are held. It's also home to the Moncton Wildcats, who play in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League.
A few minutes drive in the opposite direction will take you to the Superior Propane Centre, which is a 4-surface ice rink facility, and next door to that is the Sports Dome. It's a very large indoor play area where you can play things like laser tag, baseball, ball hockey, and soccer. And across the street is one of Moncton's baseball field complexes. Other amenities nearby include a YMCA, grocery stores, car dealerships, and restaurants. All are within a very short drive away. And an interesting side note is that many people in the area like to run their errands in Riverview. That would be me. Because it's only a 5-minute drive across the river, and a lot of the times it's much less busier than Moncton.
We have kids, so when we do community tours, we always like to make sure we cover schools. We mentioned Besbro School and École Sainte-Bernadette in the New West End, but there are 2 other schools in the area. Bernice McNaughton High School sits adjacent to Centennial Place. It's in the Anglophone East School District, and it's where students from grade 9 to 12 who live in the West End and some of the North End attend. We've had 2 of our own kids graduate from BMHS, and another graduating this year, and we also have one in grade 10, so we're well acquainted with it and we approve. We think it's a great school. Our boys are athletes, so in the fall, during football season, on Friday nights, you'll find us on the sidelines cheering them on. And when football season is done, it's right in the gym watching some Highlanders basketball.
On the grounds of BMHS, the province is building a new middle school, and I believe it's tentatively named the West End School. It's scheduled to open this fall in time for the new school year. This school will move and combine middle school students from Besbro School, Hillcrest, which is in the Old West End, and Edith Cavell School, which is downtown. At the last meeting we attended, it was said that because of the rate of Moncton's population growth, by the time this school opens, it will be around 80 students away from being at capacity.
There's no Francophone middle or high school in the community, so Francophone students get bused to École Le Mascaret from grades 6 to 8 and École l'Odyssée from 9 to 12. And that'll do it for today. Hopefully you enjoyed this tour of our area. If you have any questions about the Greater Moncton area, or if you'd like to partner with us to start your real estate journey, please reach out. Our contact info is in the description.
We are Denise and Marc. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.